So close your eyes.
Oh, wow.
Close your eyes for a minute.
Okay. I can't close my eyes. My body will let me.
Okay, close your eyes. And this is not a quiz or a test in any way. I'm just trying to get an idea where people are. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. What is the cosine of 30 degrees?
Square root of 3 over 2.
Square root of 3 over 2 is correct. Don't open them. Keep them closed. I'm going to do a grand total of 3 questions. That has been 1, which means that we have 2 very, very good.
Yes, we can do simple math.
Okay. What is the tangent of 45 degrees? 1 is correct. And the final question, what is the sine of 45 degrees?
Square root of 2 over 2.
2 over 2, good. Okay, you can open your eyes. I know some of you wanted to go to sleep when I threw that out there, but... okay, here's my question. My question for you is, how many of you feel like either you have the chart pretty much down or just about down and you just got to fine tune a little bit? That's pretty good. That's better than the other classes. How many feel like I have a little bit down, but I have a pretty good amount of work to do?
Probably that.
How many feel like I really haven't done much yet and I got a lot to do tonight?
Thanks for your honesty.
It's okay. Well, it's not, there's no penalty on that. I'm just, asking questions. Have you lost to any deadlines by not knowing it yet? No. Deadline's tomorrow. So if you don't know today, so yeah, that's good. All right. Homework. Go.
Last night's homework, I don't think I actually had any questions on.
Like the second day of notes harder.
Was it?
Yeah, yes.
No, it was figuring out what the third side of the triangles were. That was the.
Okay.
This is something I can.
Questions on the homework?
No, that would have been.
I didn't.
I did 6.2 a.m.
Nothing.
I have a question.
I want to do green today. Green.
Now, we did one very similar in class yesterday, correct? No? We did what? We did a question very similar to number 17 in class yesterday, except that I asked you to find all 6 trig functions. Okay? In this case, they're only asking you about cotangent. So walk me through this. Step 1.
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem to find the third side. So
Square 7.
49
Oh, this is my pink pen. Never
minus
mind.
9 gives us
Square root of
40, so the square root of 40. But we don't like the square root of 40.
Oh, yeah, it can be simplified.
So the square root of 40,
2 times the square root of 4. Wait, no.
square root of 4, square root of 10,
2 root
gives
10.
us 2 root 10. Okie dokie so far? All right, now they are asking for the cotangent of theta. Well, to find the cotangent of theta, we should first figure out what is the tangent of theta, because tangent falls into, oh, she erased it. Falls into the SOHCAHTOA world. So what is the tangent of theta?
2 root 10 over 3.
2 root 10 over 3, opposite over adjacent, 2 root 10 over 3. So if the tangent of theta is 2 root 10 over 3, then the cotangent of theta is
3 over 2 root
3
10
over 2 root 10.
times root.
But
Rationalize the
we have to
denominator.
rationalize, we can't have the root 10 on the bottom, so root 10, which gives us
3 root 10 over 20.
root 10 times root 10 is
10.
10 times 2 is
20.
when it's just the square root of a number, we multiply top and bottom by that square root. That's okay. Alrighty. Others? Done? Okie dokie. All right. So I've analyzed where we are and what's going on and stuff like that. What I've decided is I see no need for us to do 6-2B.
Okay.
Hello.
Do you mind?
Nope, not at all. How many we have today?
They wrote that for you.
Well, you should have already left.
So, with that in mind,
We're not
Your hair's really cute.
Yes, guys, this is 25.
what kind?
Yes, he's got one, let's go.
All right.
Can you
So
please stop?
we are going to bail on 6-2B. We're going to jump right into 6-3. So here is the deal on this. Okay. Right now, the test is scheduled for next Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to do with that yet. My hope is that we can move it back to Tuesday, move it up to Tuesday. Because, yeah, I know, I said up. I restated my, well, because that'll just give us more time for other things that we will need. So one option might be, what I would like to do, if we do have an extra day, is something that we have not yet done this quarter, but we did last semester, a group test. So we'll see, that wouldn't happen for this chapter, or for this portion of chapter 6, but might be the second portion of chapter 6. So that's one option. Another option is that we can't do the test early, we have to do it on Wednesday anyway, because tomorrow's a little weird. We'll kind of see how all of that goes. So by the end of tomorrow, we'll have an idea when we're going to test. But if we get into 6-3 right now, and we'll finish it, we'll get through that without a problem. And then we'll be set. We'll kind of move a day ahead, which is good for us one way or another in the long run. Yes, sir. You do not have to do the 6-2B homework. Is that okay? But you have to do 6.3 homework twice.
Perfect.
Just kidding. Or you can just what? Just copy down the answers. What do you think?
And it's application.
If it's a homework check,
Maybe it's homework.
and I told you not to do the homework, then there's no reason for me to be checking what I told you not to do, right?
Well, we just have to
Okay.
I'm so excited.
You're in
Oh my
charge.
god.
Okay. All right, so here's what we are going to do today. So let's get started. Away we go. What we're going to work on is what we call solving triangles.
Oh my god.
So, to solve a triangle, we simply need the measures of all the angles and the lengths of all the sides.
Sorry. You are a murderous person today. It's the second time you've caused the death of this camera.
course it
First
was.
time
It
I was
wasn't all
excited.
bad.
The second time I needed my pencil.
Did you really need
Now,
that
for
pencil?
us to
Yes,
be
I don't have a
able,
pencil.
Was it worth murder?
for us to be able to solve a triangle, we need 3 of the pieces of information. Okay? So in this case, let's say that we have side A is 6, and in a second we're going to write down that angle beta, we'll put it in here. We'll say that angle beta is 59 degrees. First thing we have to do in solving our triangle is to label the triangle. The triangle obviously has 3 sides and 3 angles. The names of the sides will be
A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. The names of the angles will be
Beta,
Alpha, and
gamma.
beta, basically, because we don't need gamma, which would be the third one. But we'll talk about that in a second. Is there any letter that has to go in a certain place? Yes, what?
C.
C. Where does C have to go?
Hypotenuse.
C has to be the hypotenuse. That is a requirement. C has to go there. Nothing else is required. But here is what must happen. Okay? What must happen is that the side and the angle of the same letter, A and alpha, B and beta, must be opposite one another. Okay? So if we have A here, then alpha must be opposite A. So alpha has to be up here. Which leaves B to be there. Are we given 3 pieces of information on this triangle?
Yes.
Yes, what are we given?
A equals 6.
A is 6, side A is 6, angle beta is 59 degrees, and angle C or angle gamma is 90 degrees. Yep, so we have 3 pieces. So we got to find the other 3. We know what alpha is. What's alpha? How do we find alpha?
180 minus 59.
Yeah, so we have the 3 angles add up to be 180 degrees. Since it's a right triangle, that's 90, so that means that these 2 are complementary. They have to add up to be 90, so therefore 90 minus 59, which is 31 degrees. Okay there?
Ask the steward a question.
Questions there? Okay, then the next question becomes, because how many more things do we have to find? 2 more, right? We have B and C. So which one do you want to find next? My answer is, I don't care. So pick whichever one you want to find next and we'll find it. Doesn't matter. What do you want to find? B, C, C, B, B? Okay. So, we want to find B. We have A, and I tend to pick the angle that we were given. So I tend to pick, in this case I would pick angle beta. So in relation to angle beta, tell me about sides B and A.
You can find B using the tangent of 59.
In relation to beta, we want to be working with the opposite and the adjacent. And if we want to be working with opposite and adjacent, that means that we will use
Tangent.
tangent. So therefore, the tangent of beta, let's get rid of beta, because beta, we already know, is 59 degrees. So the tangent of 59 degrees
Times 6.
is equal to
B over 6.
B over 6.
I was about to say that. I was like,
Cool.
pause.
Okay with that?
Wow.
All right. Well, now it's algebra. What do we do next? Nope.
Multiply by 6.
Yep. I want to know what b is, so therefore I want b by itself, so we'll multiply to 6, and we'll get 6 tangent of 59 degrees is equal to b. I strongly suggest that you do all of your algebra work before you pick up a calculator. All right? I don't want to do tangent of 59 degrees and then figure out what to do from there. That's where mistakes are made. So do your algebra first, b equals. Once you see what b equals, then crank that into your calculator. 6. Where'd my calculator go? So, 6 tangent 59.
I know.
Huh? Okay, just do whatever you gotta do, okay? I have to do this, all right? All right, so let's say that we want to round b to the nearest tenth. So what is our answer?
9.999.
So
I rounded it to
our answer is 10?
yeah.
Everybody good with that?
I rounded it to 9.99.
I'm not. I'm not happy with that answer.
Well, I rounded.
What causes you unhappiness?
Because as far as I can tell, yeah, that answer is not rounded to the nearest tenth.
10.0.
That appears to be rounded to the nearest unit.
That's not gonna
So therefore, the answer should be
9.99.
10.0. Okay. Is that 0.0 important? Yes. Why? Now we know that it is rounded to the nearest tenth. If we had this, we don't know whether that's an exact number, whether it's rounded to the nearest unit, whether it's rounded to the nearest 10, and we just don't know. As soon as we put that 0.0 in there, we know exactly how accurate that number is. Questions so far? Are we done? Because we still have to find C. We still have to find C.
Pythagorean theorem.
So how do we find C?
Pythagorean theorem.
You do not want to use Pythagorean theorem on this. And here's why.
It's not a whole number.
Whenever possible, you do not want to use a rounded number in calculations. Yeah. So I don't want to use 10.0. Because, I mean, maybe it's 9.95. And it got rounded to 10.0. Maybe it's 10.04. Got rounded to 10.0. We just don't know. And so if we can use non-rounded numbers, then let's do that. Can we use non-rounded numbers to find C?
Yes.
Yes, we can do pretty much
Cosine of 59.
exactly the same thing that we just did to find B.
Cosine 59.
Except in this case, instead of using B, we're going to use C. And so now, in relation to beta, we want to work with the
Cosine.
adjacent side and the hypotenuse. Adjacent hypotenuse. Cosine it is. So, cosine of 59 degrees equals 6 over C. Next. I want to isolate the C. How?
Multiply by 6.
Multiply the C. The C's on the bottom. We do not want C on the bottom. So let's multiply the C.
And then divide the
And And then what?
Divide the cosine
Divide by cosine
of 59 degrees.
of 59 degrees. So C is equal to 6 over cosine of 59 degrees. You cannot divide by the word cosine. You cannot divide by 59 degrees. We do not, I don't know what it would be like to divide by a word.
I divide by words all the time.
I'm going to divide by the word hippopotamus.
My favorite.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay? So we can't divide by a word, and 59 degrees is not in this problem. 59 degrees, the cosine of 59 degrees is in this problem. Capiche? So,
Capiche.
C equals 6 divided by cosine of 59. 6 divided
11.65
by cosine of 59. What do you think we should round to here?
Tenths.
Since we did the tenths for the other one, we certainly should do the tenths for this one.
11.6.
11.7.
11.6. Good seven.
And we get
11.6.
11.6.
I usually said
We do not do intermediate rounding. So basically, we're looking at this number and saying, is 11.6496, da da da, is this closer to 11.6 or 11.7? Okay. So those saying 11.7, I know where you're coming from. You're saying, okay, well, this would be 11.65, and we'd round 11.65 to 11. But this number, as it stands right now, is closer to 11.6 than it is 11.7. So C is 11.6. How are we doing?
Good.
Okay. Before you sign off on this answer, I would ask myself this question, and it should take you about 2 seconds, okay? But it'll help you avoid silly things. And that is, do these answers make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because the hypotenuse is the largest.
The hypotenuse should be the largest side. 11.6, 10.06. That works. Which side should be the smallest?
A.
Why?
Opposite from the
Because it's opposite the smallest angle. So the angles are 31 degrees, 59 degrees, and 90 degrees. The smallest is 31 degrees. That's opposite the smallest side. So I like my answers. Okay. If you start to do that, it'll literally take you 2 seconds, and you will avoid doing silly things. Okay? Questions there? Triangle number 2. A equals 12. C equals 21. Is that all the information we need?
Yes.
We have 3 things?
Yeah.
Okay. So help me label.
Alpha is the top angle.
Alpha is the top because it's opposite side A, which therefore makes that beta, which makes this B. Okay? All right. Step 1. Find B. How do we find B? Can we use Pythagorean theorem?
Yep.
We couldn't use it there. Why can we use it here? Because these are 2 given numbers. We don't have anything rounded. These are exact numbers. So we can use Pythagorean theorem here. Okay? So, go with Pythagorean theorem. 441 minus 169. So 31 and 41 is 72. So square root of 272?
297.
You said 160. Not, it's 12, not 13.
It's
I
12.
plan on writing 13. I wrote 12. Messing me up.
Let's see how it goes.
No, I can't read. I can't read numbers. All right, so 441, 144, 297. 297? Is there anything, it doesn't matter, we're doing decimals anyway. What should we round it to? Let's go nearest tenth again.
7.2. Oh, 17, Jesus.
17.2. Are you okay with that number so far? Why? It's smaller than 21. That's all I care about right now. As long as it's smaller than 21, we're okay. Okay? All right. Which angle do you want to find?
Beta.
Beta? Okay. Makes no difference. Do alpha. It's okay. If we're going to find beta, what sides do we want to use?
The hypotenuse.
Adjacent and hypotenuse.
Why?
Because they're given.
They're the given numbers. Use the given numbers. So, in relation to beta, we want to work with the adjacent side
And the hypotenuse.
and the hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse. It looks like cosine again. So, cosine of beta is equal to
12/21.
12/21. Okay, so this is a new one, a little bit. Yesterday we talked about secant.
4/7.
Uh,
12/20. The cosine.
Let me come back. I'll let her stop here so she can come back again. We talked about secant. And we made a big deal of saying that in dealing with secant, secant is not
The negative.
one of these things, right? We said that to find secant, we have to do 1 divided by cosine, right? And the reason that we said that is because these things, inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent, those are to be used only when we are trying to find the value, the measure of an angle. Only when we are trying to find the measure of an angle. What are we trying to find here? Measure of an angle. So therefore, this is exactly what we want to use this for. All right? So, the way that we are going to do this. Okay, what is this asking us? What?
What is beta?
What? Now, I'm not trying to find the cosine of anything. We already know the cosine.
What angle?
What angle gives us a
cosine
cosine
of 12/21.
of 12/21? So what were the first 2 words there?
What angle?
What angle? When the first 2 words are what angle, that's when we're using the second function button. So, second cosine 12/21. What's beta?
55.2.
55.2.
What is it?
55.2.
55.2 degrees. Does that make sense? When the first 2 words are what angle, then that's when we hit the second function button. Okay? All right, are we done?
No.
No. Bad news is we are not done. We still have to find
Alpha.
alpha. I do have some good news.
It's really easy.
The good news is that we can
use
use...
sine.
No, we don't even have to do that.
Oh, we just subtract.
Yeah, we can just subtract. We
Even
can
though it's
use
equal?
beta to find alpha. Because it will never be off. Because we're only doing 2 different angles. So if we were doing 3 angles, we would have a problem with it. We'll worry about that in a week or so. Okay.
Fun.
But to find alpha, since we already know 2 of the angles, we can use those angles to find the third. So therefore, alpha
Equals 34.8.
34.8 degrees. Are we done?
Yes.
Now we're done. How we doing? Lizzie, how we doing? Good? Okay. It's supposed to look like a bee.
No, like a bee,
Like a bee, like a stinger.
like an insect.
Like a killer bee.
Yes. Yes. You want to see it? Insects. So we have beta, right? I'm sorry.
It's got like the wings.
Boom, right? You draw a bee. That's not what a bee looks like. That's not a bee. Oh, no.
What is that?
Wait, no. It's like we go like this, right? And you do like the little, like, the wings. Okay. And then,
That's a turtle.
Why are the wings so tiny?
Why does it have 4 wings?
Okay, no, I'm gonna do it.
No, it's fine.
Maybe a
It's fine.
butterfly.
It's fine. Oh my gosh, it's okay.
Oh, we're all doing it now.
Yes.
I don't know. It's weird.
I'm a natural leader.
Stop.
Following in my footsteps.
Why are we drawing wings now?
That looks like a fly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
If we must figure out
Oh my
what
gosh, you guys sit down.
I'll sit back down.
Clearly it resembles a butterfly.
You started this. You gotta stand there.
What is that?
It resembles a butterfly. My artistic abilities have failed
Lizzie,
me.
they're talking about butterflies.
No, she can't come up here. No.
Oh my gosh.
Wow!
I want to sit down.
Oh my goodness.
Like, no ads, I'm just like,
Oh.
My name is 62 points.
Oh.
That's my whole yeah.
I think we're gonna apologize.
I didn't like
Wow.
the Lizzie.
You can at least
Are you
apologize.
okay? Are you mentally okay? Okay, have you been
You
hurt?
didn't even say sorry.
Emotional.
Don't say sorry. Because you said no, she can't come up here. Like,
I mean, if she wants to go up there, she can go up there. I mean,
what do you
Now she can.
About the hole.
like, that is-
That's a deep hole.
sit down and
He's gonna hate you forever.
Why did I? What did I draw?
An elf. Goblin. I drew a goblin.
Like when I first started drawing it, it looked like Link.
Now it's a goblin.
No, he's not a goblin. I would never draw a goblin. He's just going to be like the more feminine child version of Link.
Doing things.
Why can't I draw this well in my actual sketchbook?